Just gonna wait for people to trickle in, but for anyone who is here, how you doing? How we feeling on this Saturday, which is no different from any other Saturday, clearly. It's not like there's a thing on screen telling you that this is a very special weekend. Thank you. I made the graphic like 2 hours ago in data greeting, because I figured I should have something special for the thumbnail. And then I was like, you know what? Let's also make it the starting soon screen. Oh, Pat, I had to dip because I was finishing up prep in the middle of your video, but I need to go back and watch that. Because I looked at that on the schedule and I went, what the hell? I'm very excited to see the intricacies of what if Sora just got 8. Okay, so, first off, hi, how you doing? My name's ShibuyaGato. I stream a lot of Kingdom Hearts. I do rando every single Tuesday with Tatsu, who also has a slot in March Caprice. I do variety streams on Thursday. Right now it's Ghost Trick. I'm going to move it to World Ends With You once I finish with that, because anime is coming out. It's going to be good. Neo 12 is coming out. And sometimes I do weekend streams. Welcome to the weekend stream. But not just any weekend stream. This is specifically a weekend stream for March Caprice, which is a fan celebration of Kingdom Hearts, what is it, 19th anniversary?
That's how it's done.
Thank you for the follow, Sea Salt Lover 8. Thank you to everyone who's followed before I even went live, because there are like 5 people who did that. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and stop Desire for All That Is Lost in its tracks. As much as I love it, it is not part of the speedrun, because it's not optimal, and that makes me sad, because Desire for All That Is Lost is my favorite track in
That's how it's done.
KH2. But what we are gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and move over here. So, I hope you all are ready.
That's how it's done.
Because this speedrun, I have to be here because the speedrun starts as soon as I hit a button, and I don't want to get claimed for Melody of Memory Dearly Beloved. Oh, hey, Whale. In case you didn't know, Whale is also doing a Mom Any Percent run today, later. She starts, like, an hour before mine ends, so we're going to be rating in her. I'm just letting y'all know in advance. But, yeah, so, you can see...
That's how it's done.
Thank you, everybody, for the follows. Oh, my God. I have a follower goal right now. This weekend only. If I can get to 75, I'll do my second ever KH3 crit playthrough. I did one to get Oblivion, and that was it.
That's how it's done.
Thank you, Veloctafin, APK, X Twitch, Labrats Podcast, Moose Wayne, Sea Salt Lover 8, Master
That's
Zani.
how it's done.
God, this is gonna move too fast. I need to go ahead and do the intro. Time starts on this as soon as I hit a button on the menu, because we get forced in the DMCA hell, which I'm gonna have to mute. I'm sorry if you like Simple and Clean. I do too. We cannot have this VOD getting muted. We are going to have to also mute You've Got a Friend in Me once we get to the KH3 section, and the Monstropolis music, because last time I tried doing a speedrun of this, Monstropolis got claimed hard. And it's very unfortunate, because I also like that song a lot. But those are really the only big ones. Outside of that, we can listen to the rest of the songs in the run. If you want to see my routing through this, or just follow along with what I'm doing, because I might not have time to explain it since this is a rhythm game speedrun, you can use !guide in chat, and you can get a link to the Google Doc that I use. That I actually made just one night, because I wanted something easy to follow. And if you want to see all the other stuff that is going on today and tomorrow during March Caprice, you can do !March in chat as well, and you'll get a link to the actual schedule of what everyone's doing. Whether it's pre-recorded stuff, art, or whether it's live streams like this one. Alright. I've held you up enough. Let's get to the funny music game. But first, I'm going to set up a little prediction. Alright. everybody's going to have 2 minutes to... Well, no, I'll make it longer. Everybody gets 5 minutes to place bets. Because every time I run Melody of Memory, you know how treasure chests have a chance of showing up at the end of songs? Well, for speedruns, that is not optimal. We don't want that. But guess what has happened to me the last 2 times I've run this game? I've gotten good chest RNG, which, if I'm doing a plat run, would be nice. But I'm not doing a plat run. So the prediction I'm giving to you all, for the first 5 minutes of the run, will I get less than 20 chests overall? We don't have to keep track during, because once I finish the run, I will go to the stats screen and I will check the stats, because last time I asked 20 or fewer chests, the game gave me 21. Exactly 21. So, we're starting prediction. Place all the bets you would like. Timer right now starts as soon as I hit a button on the screen. The moment I hit a button, we are running. But time ends when the cleared icon has fully flashed in the final Xehanort fight. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and count down, and then we're gonna mute the game audio for DMCA reasons, unfortunately. But if you guys have any questions, ask them early, because early on is when we do the easy songs. Early on is when we're getting a lot of the simple stuff out of the way. Shibuya helped Ballin is real dire. I'm so sorry. I was excited for Ballin Wonderworld, and it just did not work out. Okay. We're starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Gotta let the jingle play. And now we are muting, because Simple and Clean. And we don't have to play Simple and Clean, so I can take this time to just chat with you guys. But when we get to the actual tutorial, I have to sit through the tutorial and just mash buttons to skip text boxes, which is unfortunate, but it's part of the run. Oh, no, it's been great so far. I've gotten to watch a bunch of good videos. I've gotten to... Oh. Thank you, Chris Lafordle, for the 8 months. I appreciate it. Have you ever done a pro code run? Not from scratch, no. I haven't. I have done... Well, no, actually I have. I did one to get all the Remind trophies when it came out. Like, when I was fresh off beating Yozora, I did the new file on beginner, and then turned on the pro codes, and I think I was able to get away with beating about half of the data fights before I got the A rank. I'm glad everybody is singing along, even though you can't hear the music. That's the Kingdom Hearts spirit if I've ever heard it. Singing along to a copyright claimed song in the middle of a live stream chat. Alright. And we're back. Gamers, we're gaming. Alright. Alright. Why did they include Simple and Clean as part of the run if you don't even need to play it? Because the run starts as soon as you hit a button on the menu. You don't need to play it, but it is a playable thing. Chest RNG is probably the scariest part about this. Considering that Whale's current #1 time is about, what, I think it was 13 seconds off of mine? Like 13 seconds faster? Yeah, chest RNG could make all the difference. And that's terrifying. Because my chest RNG is awful. But that's why you get to have the fun of placing your bets. Alright. Okay. If I had some time right now, what I would do, and I probably should have done this during Simple and Clean, to be honest with you, but I'm going to take requests. And the name that I see the most is the team I'm going to go with, because we unlock all 4 of the teams in this run. Team Classic, Team Days, Team Birth by Sleep, and Team 3D. I like to run with team days myself, and changing teams is not a huge time loss, but, you know. Actually, you know what I can do? I think what I might end up doing is using teams for their appropriate bosses if it applies, which wouldn't necessarily work for Team 3D because, you know, not much 3D stuff happening. We get one song, and then the rest are all way too long to be viable in a speedrun. Is it entirely random, or is there some basis on how well you perform songs? From what I can tell, chest RNG is random. It's not influenced by your actual song performance, which is very scary. Because you can intentionally miss a note in a song and still get screwed over by getting like 30 chests in a single run. Alright, gotta pull up my guide, because we're starting with KH1, baby. Alright. We're just doing some easy beginner songs, we're busting up on the beach, and we're doing Destiny Islands. And then we're getting straight to it. Alright. Also, fun fact about Melody and Memory. You can just use the D-pad to move around in World Tour. You don't have to fly the gummy ship. If you just use the D-pad to navigate, you go way faster. It's a hell of a time save. Oh yeah, it's something I didn't find out until well after I had beaten it, because I live streamed the night of release. I live streamed myself playing through the entire game on Proud Mode, just because, you know, I'm a rhythm game fanatic, I'm a Kingdom Hearts fanatic. I had to get the important lore the exact night that it came out before I could get spoiled. And I come back to it and I learn, hey, you can use the D-pad. So I used the D-pad while I was cleaning up all the stars. On PS4 5, does it have you press X to attack? Yes. I know on Switch the controls are set up the way they are in JP for Kingdom Hearts. But on PlayStation, it is X to attack, circle to jump. The usual for the actual games. Well, the thing with the Switch is that I think you can actually remap buttons system-wide on the Switch. So whenever you play Mom, you could technically just remap A and B. It would be a lot more work, and it would probably not be worth it in the long run, but it is a viable option. So many text boxes at the start of this run. It always freaks me out that I'm gonna get a time loss on the text boxes, which is completely ridiculous, but this is the first game I've properly tried to speedrun, so... Yeah, I cannot imagine trying to do performer mode on a Switch, because I already freak out about Joy-Con drift just trying to play, like, Splatoon. In a rhythm game where I have to tilt the sticks as often as you do in Mom, I would freak out.
That's how it's done.
Also, fun fact about gliding notes. You can take into account that Sora's wingspan, the width of his arms and his keyblade, can catch notes that are slightly off to the side. So you can just be in the middle of really close triplets and still hit everything. I don't think I figured that out while I was doing my first run live, because that was a 7-hour marathon where I was like on the verge of passing out and then theory crafted with Damo for the last hour of it. But like, I'll show you in more difficult songs that you don't have to fully move. There's a chest. First world and we have a chest. That's the RNG at work. Alright. Oh no, Iba, it's only gonna get worse from here, don't worry. Alright, and now we're moving on to Proud. So I'm gonna be a little more quiet, even though I haven't really been super talkative on the beginner songs, but here we go. Oof. Omni, it sounds like your faith is gonna come back to haunt you if my RNG is bad. The one good shouldn't screw us over, we should be fine. Okay, so you see here these triplets? I don't have to go to the extreme side. Sora's wingspan will take care of catching some of the stragglers. And if you want to run Mom, but you're not as good at rhythm games, there are categories for beginner percent, standard percent, and Proud, as well as any percent, which any percent is mostly just Proud. So you do have to be relatively good. But if it's daunting to you, you could do a beginner run, but beginner runs are much slower, so you just have to keep in mind the time investment. There we go. Alright. Never watched a speedrun of Mom before, so this is super interesting. Well, I'm here to educate, and I'm here to entertain. So hopefully I can do at least one of those things. Wish there was a way to do Performer and World Tour. That would be so fun to do. Yeah. It would be pretty interesting if you could just insert Performer any percent into the run. That would be a terrifying, terrifying thought. Alright, thank you for all the item pop-ups that are wasting time. I appreciate it. Alright. Let's go. Traverse Town time. What I might end up doing is I might end up showcasing different teams during different segments that would be appropriate for them. Because we do cover Days songs, I could use Team Classic for that, or for the Roxas Prologue. I could swap to Team BBS because we do a lot of BBS songs. I didn't see a lot of love for Team 3D, and unfortunately only do one song that they would really be applicable in for that. But you know what? Let's take Team 3D through KH3. It's one letter off, so. It's a celebration thing, so even if I don't get world record, there are other attempts. Days fight Xemnas? Absolutely. No, I always love seeing Team Days fight Xemnas. Because they had to deal with so much workplace bullshit that it's cathartic for me. Yeah, Traverse Town's theme is so nice. I do love just the chill vibes of it, the fact that it's really homey, really cozy. Chest number 2! Why? I've never had 2 this early. I usually only start with 1 in Traverse Town. This is horrendous. Oh god. Oh. Okay. Now we do hand in hand. Is there anyone else that's done the run on PS5? Not to my knowledge. The leaderboard is all PS4 or PS4 Pro except for me, which is handy because I get the time save of PS5 loading, but I also then feel guilty because I get the save of PS5 loading. Yeah, PS5 loads are nuts, dude. I got it partially because I don't normally get consoles at launch, but I wanted fast KH3 loads. I wanted to have good loads for any other big games I plan on getting in the future. Oh, a little early there. I honestly don't know when the next FF16 info is going to drop. As someone who lived through the nightmare of KH3 getting announced way too early, admittedly by the team, they announced that it was in development way too early and hyped us up for so many years. Chest 2 for 2 in Traverse Town. Why? Oh. Okay. We're front loading, and we are just going to not hit anymore for the next 6 worlds. That's my bet. Hell yeah. Come on. No more for the next 6 worlds. Yeah, it was E3 2013. I remember vividly sitting awake that summer watching E3 and then crying when I saw it. Tears of joy when I saw Sora running around in Twilight Town in that fidelity with a wave of shadows. That was magical, but I would not want to sit through another announcement cycle like that, so I hope they save FF16 until they're fully ready, and it's like a year out.
That's how it's done.
Thank you, Chloe Kyun, for the follow. Also, thank you to everyone else who's followed, who I haven't gotten to because I'm in the middle of a run, but I do appreciate it. If I do start a KH3 crit set of streams, those will be a weekend edition, because my Thursday slots will still be taken up by 12. Oh yeah, the engine switch was a mess. I was early on that. I appreciate it, Chloe. I thought I had all those. The triplets get you. You miss a single one of those and you just lose your rhythm. One of the most important things with rhythm games, and especially like a run like this, is when you lose your rhythm or you miss a note unexpectedly, you just have to have a good recovery. It's easy to get lost in the fact of, oh god, I missed that note. That sucks. I'm off my groove. You get back on your groove. You just shake it off and then you get back to it. Yeah. I'm lucky in that I played rhythm games for years before this, so I was already used to shaking it off or to practicing until I could shake it off like a champ. So, the thing with rhythm games is it's all about practice and just getting used to the control scheme presented to you. Like, if I hadn't done the demo religiously and done Wave of Darkness so many times, I don't know that I would have been able to do a proud mode stream of the full game itself on launch night. At the very least, this Wonderland song is relatively simple. Had 45 hours in the demo alone, I was ready for launch night. Yeah. That was how it felt. I was in that demo for a while doing performer songs. Doing the Enchanted Dominion song from BBS that's really underrated with how good it is. It's really bad that I can't name it right now off the top of my head. But I'm gonna give myself a pass because I'm also playing a Wonderland song right now, so I'm a little scattered as far as my attention goes. Rustling Forest, that's the one. I love Rustling Forest a lot. It was actually my favorite song in the demo. I got that thing. Proud performer. I think I full cleared it at one point, but because it's the demo, that progress is gone. And then I just got so tired of it, I never went back in the main game. Aside from just occasionally going back to play it. What does leveling do in this game? More HP? Pretty much. Leveling, like, raises your quote-unquote stats, but that doesn't really do much. It's an aesthetic because it's a Kingdom Hearts game, and they have to have the numbers and the stats to make your brain go burr. Wave of Darkness was the song I played the most in the demo. Yeah. When I was hunting for the plat, I also played Wave of Darkness a lot, so I'm just kind of tired of it now, which is very unfortunate, because it is such a good song. Thank you, Lab Rats. I appreciate the good luck. Oh, that's fine. One miss isn't gonna end the run. That's fine. Just a reminder that March Caprice has new stuff on the docket about every half hour or hour. Because there's a bunch of pre-recorded stuff. There's artist alleys going on. So if you want to check the schedule, again, exclamation point March in the chat. I think there's also going to be a YouTube playlist of every video that goes live during. So if you can't watch them for some reason, like you're streaming, or you have an emergency come up, then you can go back to that playlist and just get the feeling of watching it all at once. Which is going to be fun. Had to take a long break from it when the full game came out. Had to after spending hours and hours learning it, and then more blindfolded. Oh jeez. I can't imagine doing a rhythm game blindfolded. Like, I have faith in myself to memorize beat maps, but having the sensory input of, like, the visuals is so important. I cannot imagine that. Kudos to you for actually doing it. Oh, Keynote. It's fine. Absolutely share it. March Caprice is for a bunch of people, so I have no problem just dropping links to more stuff. It's going pretty good new. So far we've only gotten 3 treasure chests, so chest RNG might be kind. Emphasis on might, it can still absolutely ruin us. There is time. Hey, Mal. Yeah, Brett is sending me his bad chest RNG. It sucks. Same luck as last night's Step Seed. No, we've only gotten 3 chests so far. It could have been far worse. We could have been at 10 already, Mal. It's not as bad as last night's Sephiroth Seed. Alright, so if I just position myself in the middle here, I can hit everything. Okay, so far, Agrabah's been kind. I appreciate the kindness, I just hope it keeps up. No! 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 The world has a Cave of Wonders. I'll allow 1 chest. If we get 2, I'm going to say Agrabah sucks. And I'm going to mean it in my heart, with all my heart. And it's going to be awful. Okay, let's see. Let's do Arabian Dream, and then only the second song of Halloween Town. We're not doing the world theme, we're doing the battle theme. let's see. Okay, there we go. I mistook the friend orbs for the triangle prompts for a second. It's fine. We can recover. Alright. Good recovery. Do those friend orbs even do anything? Not really. Good, thank God. No chest. No chest. We did it. We did it, gamers. Alright. Now we're moving on up to Halloween Town and only doing the second song. Some worlds we only do one song of them because that's all we need for the star count for the gates. Halloween Town happens to be one of those. Unfortunately, Atlantica is not one of those, so we're doing every song in Atlantica. And Atlantica is tricky. Atlantica was what screwed me over my last run, but we'll see if we can do a little better this time. Okay. Alright. That was a relatively painless Halloween Town. Actually pretty good. All excellence. Okay. Did not expect that to pop up, but I'm happy with it. Alright. Now, we need to schmoove our way over to Atlantica and experience pain. By pain, I mean the aqua tanks. The aqua tanks just suck. Some of the Heartless animations can throw you off as far as hitting notes. The White Knights are a good example. They suck. So don't focus on the Heartless, focus on the circles. When the circles overlap is when you hit. Also, can we just talk about some of the music choices and how they missed the opportunity to put Finny Fun in here in any capacity? Oh yeah, the Dream Eater enemies are some of the trickiest in the game, and they're present in some of the longest songs in the game. If we missed any stars on that, we're a little bit screwed, because our star count is very important, but I think we probably cleared the missions on that just fine. It's a couple of the doubles and triples with the, not the aqua tanks, but the smaller guys, whose names I'm forgetting. Okay, no, we did it. We're good. Sea neons. No, sea neons are the jellyfish, I think. Whichever ones they are, the guys with spears, they suck. They just throw me off for whatever reason, for timing. Yeah, Nagarf, it's real bad. With the salamanders, specifically. That's why you have to focus on the circles and not the patterns of the enemies. Because starting with the nobodies, that's when they actively try to trick you half the time with the movements. I did not even think I was off beat there, and then the notes shifted to good. And last time I played, that happened and I panicked. So this time it happens and you just can't panic. The short, quick bursts like that are some of the trickiest ones, in my opinion. Because, like, if you give me a barrage of fast notes where I just have to hit 13 times, I can do that. But when you throw it off with adding, like, pauses and shifts in tempo, that's where I start going a little nuts. Okay. Now we're heading to Neverland. Neverland's a good time. All right. I love Neverland, but I'm glad this game included the best Neverland OST, which is in 358 Days Over 2. The songs from Days Neverland are some of my favorites in the entire series, full stop. The only thing wrong with Days Neverland is Ruler of the Sky, and that's it. Also, fun fact, one of the trophies in the game can only be gotten on one of the Days Neverland songs on Proud. The one for juggling one enemy 19 times in a single song. I believe it's in Secret of Neverland, which is the battle theme. You'll see it, because we're gonna get to it. Wonder what Union will end on. Union Cross, I think it's gonna end off on... Like, what do you mean end on? Like, what worlds? Because there's only one update left for Union Cross. Oh, hey, my boy Neku. We'll be seeing more of him probably in 2 weeks. When we start doing World Ends With You for Thursday streams. Like, how it'll end. I mean, Daybreak Town has to get destroyed, and possibly sink into the ocean to form Scala Kylum in its wake. I think that's the note it has to end on, but as far as what else will transpire, I'm just excited to find out. I have no actual idea. Maybe something about Mom getting stuck into Shibuya. Shout out to regular Pat's vid on what would have happened in KH1 if Sora just got eaten by the crocodile. In Neverland, by the way. I didn't catch all of it, but it's a pretty good video. Theorizing how things could have gone horribly wrong. Or just wildly different. It's part of the March Caprice lineup. Highly recommend it. Oh, right. They have to deal with Ven absorbing darkness and reshaping him and literally actually making that part of darkness Vanitas. Yeah, that would be interesting if like, a false Vanitas was the final boss. I would actually like that. Hey, Bio. How you doing? I passed out, but how's the stream going? Hey, no worries. It's a pretty lazy Saturday. Stream's been going okay. So far, Chest RNG scared us at the beginning, but has been relatively kind so far. Sunarkana, I think he means he just fell asleep. Gotta pace yourself at cons by. Yeah. No, that's absolutely correct. At a convention, you either pace yourself or you realize you haven't eaten 12 hours into day one and then have like one McNugget that you steal off a friend's plate because you want to do too many things. And then you can't actually go and get food. Speaking of, I miss live cons so much. So I'm glad that this get-together has actually panned out well. Because I'm sure if the world is back to a state where we can confidently and safely, which I don't think it will be, but let me be an optimist for a minute. If the world is back to a state where we can confidently and safely have real-life conventions again, you bet your ass I'm gonna get a Kingdom Hearts cosplay together. Chest 4, finally showing up at Olympus. Thank you very much. Or is that chest 5? I think it's 4. No, it's 5. Because we had 2 in Traverse Town. And then 1 on Destiny Islands and 1 in Agora. Alright. Okay. So we're a fourth of the way to the no-heads getting their payout. Alright. Guess we just gotta do what the song says and go for it. Yeah, so far the chest RNG scared me at the start, but it hasn't been much worse than that. So I'm hoping it keeps up that way. I don't know if it will, though. There we go. Thank you, Trucy. I can't exactly knock on wood myself at the moment, but... God damn it. I feel like I broke enough barrels in the last song that knocking on wood isn't entirely necessary. There we go. Okay. Fun fact, the moment I knew Melody of Memory would be a fun rhythm game for me and challenging was when I saw those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bits in the trailers. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, proud mode is the way I have to go, huh? Alright. Next we have Monstro, which is going to be fun. Because for Monstro, guess what? You have to break all the barrels and boxes, just like in Olympus. It's funny. Yeah, patterns like that can be difficult to get at first. Because part of it is about agility, and part of it is just about timing. Just remember to alternate the buttons. Don't put all the strain on one single finger, or one single button, if you can help it. This game gives you 3 different inputs that you can use for notes like that. So what I do is alternate between L1 and R1, or the shoulder buttons, if you play on Switch. Does this game link to the main story at all? Yes, but it's very backloaded, like more so than KH3. If you're in this game for plot, it's probably best to wait till it drops to 20 bucks or to just watch the cutscenes online. Because the gameplay is not linked to the story whatsoever, gameplay-wise. But plot-wise, it does set up future events that are going to happen. Alright, there we go. Alright, once we do Monstro, we do a single song of Hollow Bastion and then go straight to Ansem. So we're getting team days in about 3 songs. Yeah, we only do one Hollow Bastion song for KH1, and that is just the main Hollow Bastion theme. And then we only do one Hollow Bastion song for KH2 as well, and that's Scherzo di Notte. Which I'm probably horribly mispronouncing. But if you don't know Scherzo by name, it's the that one. DMCA will hit you if you play any of the main themes, or 2 of the KH3 songs. Well, no. As I'm thinking in the speedrun, the video game starts out with an unskippable, just random beat map for simple and clean. So if you're gonna stream, you have to mute immediately. After that, the only things you really have to worry about are the KH3 songs, and even then, it's really only Let It Go, You've Got a Friend in Me, and the Monsters, Inc. song. Fill very carefully. I chose a part where I knew what I was doing and I knew that I wouldn't miss. I genuinely just had to choose a part where I knew that I could hit the notes without really thinking, and then switch my brain over to doing Hollow Bastion music. I've played rhythm games for years. That's all I can really say. Alright. DMCA has really screwed these sorts of games. Yeah. No, DMCA is an issue. And an issue that I wish wouldn't be applicable to, rhythm games. Because I love the Project Diva series, but streaming those is a licensing nightmare. As far as bringing back PTSD from hard fights as a kid, maybe. But it's not like you're gonna have the PTSD of watching the same pre-battle cutscene 20 times. And then there's also the fact that there's no deep jungle in this game at all, so it's less PTSD than you might have otherwise. And hey, the best part is you get to enjoy the music and not have to deal with the bosses. So you could conquer your childhood trauma. All right. I actually watched Tarzan earlier today. Yeah, I haven't seen it in years, but I have it on VHS. It's still pretty good. By all accounts. Alright. It's time for more text boxes. Alright, there we go. I've been watching these streams for like 6 hours. My energy's dipped and I think I need a break. Then take a break. Yeah, no, absolutely. The content will still be here when you get back. I wish they would have done DLC for this game, if only to add more boss battles in. Boss battles are the type of gameplay that I love the most, and that we have the least of, and it upsets me. Alright, and once we do this, we get to unlock Sea Salt Trio, which I'm very happy about. Kind of surprised they didn't have Ford to finale in this game either, even if they were making this at the same time as 3. Well, they probably weren't finished writing that song yet. That's the only thing I can think of. It's like how I'm depressed that Nachtflugel isn't in, and will never be in because they're not doing DLC. Which, this is the one game I absolutely would have wanted DLC for, ironically enough. I respect the practice, but I'm disappointed. Alright, and we're not quite swapping team days just yet, because we have to do Castle Oblivion. But as soon as we pass Castle Oblivion and move on to days in KH2, we are absolutely swapping. Alright, so how are we feeling, gamers? We're about an hour into the run. How are you guys doing? Okay, this one's on Proud, the next one is on Beginner. Okay. Whew. Shaking off some rust because I haven't actually done a mom run in a while. Enjoying the music? Good. It's good music. Enjoying finding people who like Cage? Also valid. March Caprice is pretty good for that. A friendly reminder because it's 6 o'clock and the next event has probably started already. Or it's past 6, rather. I'm a little late. But you can use !March in chat to get a schedule for all the stuff in March Caprice. You should also look at their Twitter because they're also retweeting a lot of stuff from artists, and that's not going to be listed in the schedule. And there's also like a virtual artist alley of sorts where some people are doing sales on their shops online. So if you want to get your hands on some merch and you have some disposable cash this weekend, might be a good thing to check out. Alright, so for the next set of songs, we're going to be swapping difficulties now. Forgotten Challenge we do on Beginner, but then 13th Struggle we do on Proud. Like, fully on Proud. And 13th Struggle is probably the reason why any percent requires you to be very good at the game. 13th Struggle, I think, is the main reason that you have to be good at the video game to do any percent. And if you're not good, 13th Struggle is where your run is going to die. Because everything up till now, relatively easy. You'll see. I'm getting ahead of myself. We still have this song first. Forgotten Challenge is good in its own right. And since it's on Beginner, I can just vibe a little bit more than I normally would be able to.
That's how it's done.
Thank you, Generator Hades, for the follow. I appreciate it. Alright, taking a sip of water. Alright, chat. I'm also going to swap to Team Days for 13th Struggle, because that just feels right. After all, Axel's in there. And Axel is one of the people you fight in Castle Oblivion, so. Let's go. First, we skip.
Sora?
Alright. Luckily for us, swapping teams is a menu just integrated into the song select menu, and it's not a huge time loss if we decide to do it, so. Right there, easy. Alright, like I said, this is where your run dies if you're not good at Proud. You will see why. That's about the one that I was thinking of when I said your run dies if you're not good on Proud. You just have to be aware of the pattern of the song and then be fast enough to do it in real time. And you have to do that one on Proud because you need to defeat 290 total ground enemies for a mission, and you cannot get 290 ground enemies on Standard. That's just not happening. So, there you go. That is the reason that song is forced onto Proud for this. Okay, time for the Force in You, which is the last Chain of Memory song that we're doing for the run. After that, we move on to KH2 Prologue briefly, but we're doing this one on Standard. If that gave you anxiety, then don't worry. I like to do the final boss on Proud, just because I can. It's completely unnecessary, but it's just a thing that I enjoy doing as a rite of passage, because I did it on Proud my first try. I don't think I even had to retry once. First night when I was doing everything on Proud, after a 7-hour rhythm game marathon. That VOD is on YouTube, by the way, if you want to check it out. That's the end of that. Now we are on to KH2 Prologue, but only for like 5 songs. Alright. We do the KH2 Prologue for about 5 songs, and then we jump into Days for a bit. And we're still staying on Standard. So, if you have any questions to ask, the Standard mode songs are probably the best time. Because from here on out, we're not doing anything on Beginner. Standard is as easy as we go. Alright, now, right, up, right. There we go. Second favorite Dream Eater. Mine, probably Komori Bat, just because he's, like, up there. Meow Wow and Pseudo Neku are tied for first, in my opinion. And then Meow Justy is a solid third. That's true. Tubgwin Ace is pretty good. But I like him more for his combo attack than I like him in general. And then, you know, I just thought of something. If the emblem Heartless are plushies, what are the nobodies? Figmas. The nobodies are Figmas, with joints literally everywhere. I'm trying to remember the name of the one that got added in 2.8, the Dream Eater that was the elephant that was supposed to be modeled after Beat from Toei. I'm forgetting its name, but I also really like that one. Beat-alike, that's it. I like Beat-alike a lot. Probably tied for third, honestly. Ryu Dragon is cool, but that's all he's got going for him. He's cool, but like his attacks, not really memorable. As far as having them in my party, I love the T-Rex. Last song we do on standard in this set is Tension Rising, and then we only go back to standard once we start moving to Secret of Neverland. Oh no, all the Dream Eaters are adorable in their own ways. It's just that some of them are, you know, more adorable than others. That is how it is. Let me edit my guide. Up, plus left, because apparently you can get caught up in the gate. There we go. Reminder, if you want to see the guide that I'm using for running this, you can use !guide in chat, get a link to the Google Doc. If you don't care, then that's fine. You're gonna see what I'm doing anyway. I think Pseudo Neku is silly. He's silly, but in the fun way. Chef Kairu is also silly in the fun way. Lion's pretty good. Or I wouldn't say Aura Lion's a favorite of mine, but he's like a solid design. And he can be very cute when he wants to be.
Let's go. It's over. You're done.
So we're going back to Proud here, but we're going to regular Twilight Down. Non-data.
That's how it's done.
Hey, Prodigy. Or Prodigy. Sorry. How you doing? Yeah, this is a mom speedrun, and then later on, Whale's gonna be doing a mom speedrun. I think it starts in half an hour, actually. I think it starts at 7. So we're gonna be raiding into that once we finish up here. Come on. Come on. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay, thank you for giving me the best Neverland music in all of Kingdom Hearts. But, we need to actually play the game, thanks. Alright, we're back to Proud, and we're gonna just do our best. Because we've been coasting on Standard for a bit, but, you know, missions require it, so we just do what we gotta do. Oh yeah, sleeping weird on like an elbow or an arm always sucks. Just make sure you're flexing it every now and then, and you should be good. What's your favorite song in this game? Desire for All That Is Lost, full stop. It's a shame it's not part of the run.
Let's go!
Because I love playing the map for it. I've always loved Desire for All That Is Lost as a song. Like, whenever I hear it in KH2, I go ham. It's up there with Vim and Vigor for me. But yeah, that, easily. There's a lot of songs that I wish would have been in the game. But, you know, KH2 Pirates. But you can't have everything, you know? You gotta take what they give you, and then when they say they're not making DLC for the rhythm game where you would buy all the DLC, full stop, you smile, and you grin, and you nod. And you just go, okay. I can never nail the ending of it, though. No, the ending is tricky as hell. It took me, like, 10 tries to figure out the timing on that. It's really weird. It's really jank. I just wish KH3 got more love and more bosses. Yeah, more bosses would be nice. Like, that's the DLC that I want the most. Just more bosses. And versus mode invites, yeah. If they fixed versus, so you could actually search up friends for the Epic release, which I don't think they're gonna do, but that would be godlike. I can give the KH3 songs a pass, because this game was apparently in development at the same time as 3. So that's understandable. Plus, if you want the game to run on Switch, you can't be using UE4 assets, like the high-fidelity ones in KH3, so making the memory dives makes sense. Kind of crazy that Young and Xehanort wasn't a boss, but Maleficent was. Yeah, that still boggles my mind. Considering all the other Xehanorts are bosses, and he isn't, I'm shocked.
Let's go!
No, DDD doesn't have an area boss. Terranort Dismiss in the arena with the chains on the outside would have been so good, dude. I weep for the lost potential of more bosses in this game every single time I play it. Young Xehanort and Pito del Scuro. Another Xemnas maybe in 3D if you just didn't want to import Young Xehanort's model for some reason. Because the version of Darkness of the Unknown we get is so wildly short. I need a longer version of my favorite track in all of Kingdom Hearts as far as bosses goes. Alright, now we're going back to standard, but we're also going to days. Oh, there we go, okay. If they make another rhythm game in 5 years, I will absolutely buy it day one and stream it day one. Anyway, yeah, here's to the best Disney World music in a Kingdom Hearts game, in my opinion. Both the tracks for Days Neverland are so underrated. Honestly, just Days Neverland in general is what Neverland should have been in Birth by Sleep. Ruler of the Sky maybe made me quit the game for 3 months when I was in middle school, but rest assured, I still look back on Neverland quite fondly. Oh yeah, Days has great tracks. Days is one of the strongest single soundtracks overall as far as original songs that first came up in it. Like, you have all the Xion music, which is great. You have the Neverland music. Come to think of it, there's not a lot of original tracks in Days, but the ones they added were good. Ruler of the Sky is a name I forgot, but an unforgettable boss. Yeah, no, you hear that name and you have flashbacks. That's how it goes if you played it on DS. If you just watched the movie, then you're going, excuse me? Isn't the cheese strat thunder spells? I don't know. I didn't know the cheese when I was 13. Hell, maybe I should, you know, play Days on a stream. See what I can do with that. But I'd have to figure out controller support for it, because I would not be playing on keyboard. Oh, yeah, Leechgrave is the other one. If it wasn't Ruler of the Sky, it was Leechgrave. And both of those made me quit the game for a couple months, each. Oh no, it's cool in design. It's just bad in gameplay. And it sucks to fight. It is the worst. I could help you with that if you need. I'll think about it. Because the idea is interesting, but I don't really want to mess with that right now. Because I have streams already lined up for my Thursday slots. Also, the Anteater boss in Agrabah, I forgot its name. Yeah, that guy never gave me as much trouble. I just found him more tedious than anything. Hey, it's fine. Sometimes your brain just takes a second to, you know, zone out, and when you come back, you've said a sentence that you did not mean to say.
It's over. Fire.
Alright, so yeah, this is the song that has the guy that you have to hit 19 times for the one trophy. We're not going to be hitting him 19 times because the trophy is a time loss. We're going to miss the very last hit on him. This is the guy. I hope the next KH game is a Twilight Town group game. I would love that. I don't think that's what's gonna happen. I at least hope the Twilight Town gang and the Birth by Sleep trio make a return appearance in the next saga at some point. And we missed this one intentionally. Missing saves time? Well, you don't get the trophy pop-up, you don't get the achievement pop-up in-game, you don't get the all excellent nonsense, and you get less time in here, I think. It's just about strategically missing sometimes. Alright, now we do Fighting Away, but on standard. Yeah, because for some of the in-game achievements, there's also trophy pop-ups, which just wastes much more time. Alright. Let's get this one done. Chain of 79 or more. And all simultaneous targets. Let's go. Yeah, not getting those pop-ups saves a lot of time. And saves a lot of mashing that I could be doing in the middle of the rhythm game segments. How's the routes for the World Tour runs? It's different depending on what category you're running, because any percent is just get through as fast as possible and you're allowed to change difficulties. But there's also, like, routing that people have done for a beginner percent, a standard percent, a proud percent, which I want to try proud percent at some point. But I haven't looked at the guide for that all too thoroughly. But, if you want to see the guide I'm using for any percent, which I based off of a pre-existing guide on speedrun.com and just tweaked it a little visually so that I can read it better while I'm running, you can just go ahead and do !guide in chat, and you should get the link for it on Google Drive. There we go. Yeah, no. The achievements for each song give you stars, and the more stars you unlock, the faster you can get through the gates, which let you make progress in the actual World Tour. Alright, sweet. Okay, now we do Mysterious Tower, and I think this is the last song we do on Beginner. Mysterious Tower should be the last one. There we go. Brain dead easy, so if you want to ask me questions, now's the time. This is going to be the easiest song we do. What's your opinion on spellcaster monsters from Yu-Gi-Oh? Like spellcasters in general, or a specific archetype of spellcasters? Because I really love spellcasters. They are probably my favorite individual type of monster.
It's over. Take this.
Like, I do Blue Eyes decks because Blue Eyes decks have good support and are really easy to get into, but I love Dark Magician a lot. Chaos Sorcerer was a monster I used to run in a deck in high school when I got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Briefly. I just think they're neat. Dragons are my second favorite. Did you get the chance to watch Damo's latest theory about Yuzora? No, but I'm excited to get to watch that once I'm done here. There's a lot of videos during this entire weekend that I'm excited to get the chance to watch once I'm done with the stream. Which Heartless types do you think each of the Keyblade heroes would be? I think, like, Riku and Terra would probably be Invisibles, because they're the big brawny brawler types who have good evasion. Specifically Riku, because the Invisibles use a lot of dark fire moves. I think... Well, Sora is obviously a shadow. He doesn't have much darkness in his heart. It's tricky, because I'd have to really get in depth with some of those to give you an accurate answer. How different do you think future games will be in terms of story and tone? I think the tone's going to get slightly darker for the next game, probably, but I don't think it's going to get much darker. Because when you think about it, Cage already toes that line pretty well. Because dark things do happen in Kingdom Hearts, it's just that people can't look past the lighthearted Disney nonsense sometimes. Like, let's not forget how Sora killed himself to revive Kairi in KH1. He didn't know that he would come back. He thought he was killing himself for good. But I think just by nature of KH going the direction it is right now, with potential body snatching, actual body snatching, travel through worlds, displacement across realities, I think it's just gonna get a lot darker. Like, a lot more overtly dark. Wouldn't they all be Darklings? Some of them might be Darklings, but I don't think all of them would be. The big plot point of KH1 is also the worlds are literally falling to darkness, like Traverse Town exists solely because people's worlds kept... Yeah, exactly! Traverse Town is literally a refuge for people whose worlds were destroyed. Basically nuked by darkness. KH1, when you look back on it, genuinely fucking dark, sometimes. After this, I think we move strictly to Proud Mode. So, like, no other songs after this go to Standard. I think. Don't quote me on that. Because I could be absolutely wrong. I can only see so far ahead in the guide. Traverse Town also only exists when worlds have fallen to darkness, and if it ever shows up again, we're in trouble? True. Well, no. It shows up when there's a need for it. Because 3D literally establishes that Traverse Town shows up as a refuge for people who are lost. Just in general. Like, if you live through your world getting destroyed or something happening, Traverse Town will appear and you might end up there. Which actually begs the question of where Traverse Town is the rest of the time. Like, where is it when people don't need it? Limbo, Unreality. Probably Limbo. It's more likely Limbo. Like, I don't think Traverse Town ends up in Unreality. Although there is a shop in Shibuya called Traverse Coffee. There is literally a shop in Shibuya with Traverse Town's logo that is just a coffee shop. So, who knows? Anyway, here we are back to Halloween Town and still only doing one song in Halloween Town. The trend continues. And there's Desire for All That Is Lost, sitting there and unable to be played. Also Rowdy Rumble, sitting there unable to be played, because neither is viable for the speedrun. It's so unfortunate. Mom is such an interesting and mysterious character, I'm very excited to find out more about him. Same. I want to know what the hell his deal is. Because, like, I have something of an idea from Union Cross, but not enough. Yeah, Happy Holidays is a bop. I wonder if Nomura drinks Traverse coffee. Honestly, if we get to explore the square, the Scramble Crossing, and we see a Nomura-looking NPC in Traverse coffee, I'd clap. As long as he's a new villain, I'll be very happy with Mom's character. Fair. Everyone theorizing he's Demyx or something scares me. But not as much as the people who theorize he's future Sora. I hate that, and I want that theory to be disproven as soon as possible. Because Sora, when he's fallen into despair, would never do the stuff that Mom has done. The only one Master of Masters should have any tie to are the Keyblade wielders of old. This includes Ericus and Xehanort maybe. Other than that, he should have no connection to anyone pre-established except Xigbar. That's it. That's my stance on Master of Masters and all the theory crafting. Anytime someone says, oh, he's Demyx or oh, he's Sora, I just go, please God, no. Don't let that be the case. I want that to not happen. Alright. Now we get to do both songs in Timeless River, which is fun. Oh, jeez. Also, thank you to everyone who's stuck around this long for the thing. Almost 50 people have stuck around for all of the speedruns so far, and I do appreciate it. Whether you're just lurking or whether you're actively participating in chat, I appreciate it. actually thinking about it, it would be interesting if Mom actually ended up being somebody who was sent to the final world but managed to get out. And, like, he broke a taboo or something. He broke a nature taboo and is trying to either avert his inevitable fate with that or cause as much chaos as he can before he goes out. I don't think that's at all going to be the case, but I think it would be an interesting way to explain some of what he's done. Do you think the Darkness character will play a key role in future games? Yes.
Let's go.
And I'm pretty sure the last Union Cross update will establish that Ven turns Darkness, or at least the shard of Darkness that was hiding in him, into Vanitas. I think absolutely the last update is you fight a part of Darkness's being that ends up becoming Vanitas, and because Darkness is like a multitude and Ventus has a piece of it in himself, I think he's the one in the arc. I think he's the one in the arc going to the future because he has people who remember him, i.e. Chirithy, or even just Ephemer and the other Dandelions, or Laurium technically, because Laurium did make it through. But he also has, you know, the physical link, which is Darkness itself. Darkness is the reason that he's able to make it through the arc. Do you think Vanitas will come back in future games? No. I don't think Ven's gonna let that happen again. I think Vanitas, the most likely course is Vanitas, now having gained his own will and his own sentience, would rebel against the idea of fusing back into capital D Darkness as a whole. I wonder if Strelitzia will be back. I don't think so. Her death was a catalyst for a lot of things. Maybe she'll make a cameo in the final world, but I think that's it. I would be happy to be proven wrong on that, though. Because now that Laurium seems to have started to remember certain things, it would be interesting to see him go on a quest to see if Strelitzia left behind a Heartless or a nobody. I think it's Strelitzia who Lucia put in the pot. I don't think so. Yeah, Howl, I agree. To some degree, there needs to be a sense of permanence to certain deaths. Okay, now is when we're doing Shares of the Note. Oh, that scene's concurrent? Okay, never mind then. Okay. That's my bad then. I wonder if Fuzor is really who Damo suggested he is. I have to see that video, and then I can probably talk about it. Oh, okay. Now we move right to Crushing Melody, which is Sinister Shadows. I'm glad at the very least Sinister Shadows makes it into the run. Because there's a lot of songs that I weep for not making it in. Like Vim and Vigor, Desire for All That Is Lost, Rowdy Rumble. But thank God this one makes it. Yeah, Sinister Shadows is so good. As far as battle music, KH2 is some of my favorite in the entire series for a reason. I love specifically how some of the beat maps emulate, like, certain fights in the world that they're in. So, like, that just emulated Thousand Heartless and then Hollow Bastion Third Visit when the Tron stuff gets digitized. Okay. So that's done. We do one song of Space Paranoids, sadly. Only one. But then we schmoove our way over to
Sora
World That Never Was and start getting over to Zemnis. Okay, let's go. Only one Benoids? Yeah, so we better make it count. And it's the battle theme, so we're making it count. Let's go. Bite bashing. Like, solid A tier. Also, the special attack animations and the background hits on... Ah, damn it, we missed one. That's fine. I was trying to read during a lull. I should have learned not to do that. Special attack animations and the background hits on bosses during whole targets being timed to the beat. Yeah. No, anytime I hit the triangle button and Sora does an Ars Arcanum to the beat, or Roxas, like, does his... I don't know what his move is called specifically, but when Roxas does his, like, spin and then the beams of light hit out and then the hit sounds are on beat, I love that. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I accidentally hit circle, chat. I accidentally hit circle. This is the biggest time loss. Oh no. Well, chat, I think the run might have died right there. I think that might be the end of the run. We'll see. Hey, at least the chest RNG's been good. Ha ha ha. Knocking on wood right now. Oh. I'm gonna need a bigger sip of water after this song to make up for that. It's been a while since you've gotten one. Yeah. Oh, no, the run's been going fine except for the massive time loss I had from just accidentally hitting circle and going back to the main menu and having to sit through like 20 seconds of pop-ups. I mean, I disagree, Mal, but I respectfully disagree, because Sacred Moon is pretty good. So I respect your opinion, but politely say Sacred Moon's not the best KH2 song. Not when Darkness of the Unknown exists. Also finally got that split in Yams run. Hell yeah! Hell yeah, I'm glad Yams run's going well. Alright. Up plus... Alright, time for this. Once we finish this, we get to Recoded. Time for Catharsis Incarnate. Hey, Offstage. How you doing? Oh, it felt good getting all Rainbow Excellence at the end there. Would you want a Yuzora game? I want a game that's at least half playable with Yuzora. Yes. Thank you, Zach, for redeeming the Cherokee noises. Awkward time to redeem it, but that's fine. I don't want a game that's fully Yuzora. I want a game that's at least partially Yuzora. So I can get a handle on how he plays, and also so I can get a handle on just, like, what is going on with him. Also, hi, it's time for Recoded. Honey, it's 7 p.m. It's time for your daily Recoded. Yes, dear. I mean, the good point would be, like, near the end, probably. Like, once the timer is done, you can redeem all the points you want. No, the Recoded music is very good. The 2 songs that they chose from Recoded, stellar. Thinking about playing Recoded, though? Ugh. Omni, so far the chest situation is actually pretty good. So you might be keeping those points, buddy. Alright. Take care of yourself first, Omni. Alright. I'm used to interaction, but not like this much, you know? Yeah, I get that. OMG, this is what if Sora died to the croc is on my recommendations for YouTube. YouTube knows what you're interested in. And it's what if Sora fucking got eaten in the middle of KH1? I'm sorry, every time I think about that video, I lose my mind. Because it's an interesting talking point, but it's also fucking ridiculous. Anyway, time for the best song. Oh, it's past 7. Okay. Oh, Whale has probably started her mom speedrun at this point, or is like doing first intros and starting very shortly. So I'm interested to see how that goes. Oh god, Nagarf. I don't want to think about that.
really cool. They put bits in him.
What?
Thank you, Kyrie Caitlin, for the bit. I appreciate it. Alright. So we are now past Recoded. We've unlocked Team BBS, and we are doing the one Kingdom Hearts 3D song. So enjoy it while it lasts, because it's not going to last for very long.
Thank you.
It's still going to last a little too long, but that's just how it goes. Thank you, New, for the host. Appreciate that as well. There we go. Poor 3D. No, if 3D wanted to be in a speedrun, it should have made its songs less than 3 minutes each. Yeah, we're only doing one because we need to do at least one to unlock the final gate at the end of this segment. Oh, with hosting and stuff, you don't need to worry about timing that. Because I'll get to that notification eventually. Oh, shit. We should be fine. Just missing one note's not gonna kill the run, I don't think. That's fair. I do appreciate it, New. Lucky for us, Traverse in Trance is one of the shorter 3D songs, so we just get through it and we're done. Still feels like it goes on a little longer than it should. Good God. Traverse Town really just had to say, here's another chest, how you doing? Thanks, Traverse Town. I'm never coming back in the speedrun. Thank you. Bye. Alright. We're dipping. Now we're heading to Land of Departure. And we're using Team BBS from here. We're going to use Team 3D for the last stretch. But for now, we just got to do this. Yeah, it's a shame Future Masters doesn't get more love as far as just getting played. That is true, New. This is the part of BBS's opening tracks I hate the most. The curve throws me off completely. I have to look at Aqua's shadow to orient myself with where I'm going. I think the Promised Beginning has more of a problem with it. But it still sucks. So I think I got that. Oh no! Oh no, no, no. That's the worst it could have been. I'm begging you not to do that. I also love that the renders of the synth items are busted and have pixelation, like fucked up transparent pixels in the back. I think that's funny. I really like that. Hey Tatsu. It was going pretty good until I accidentally hit circle and backed out to the menu and got like 20 pop-ups and probably wasted 20 seconds. But we're making up for it and we're just pushing on. Chest RNG was good to us too, until Traverse and Trance brought back the bad luck, and so far we've had 2 for 2 chests since we beat Recoded songs. We're gonna see if it's 3 for 3 now, or if BBS decides to be kind and just scare me a little bit. That's good, all part of the manip. That is true. Everyone knows RNG manips are crucial in a rhythm game speedrun. I mean, they are in the censor's chests. Yeah, but RNG manip is not a thing you can do with the chest, sadly. Alright, for people who haven't heard, I'm gonna be in Tatsu's stream tomorrow at noon Eastern, helping to promote Water Cage, his rewrite mod. Which, if you have not seen it or played it, it is very neat. It's viewer interaction, basically. So, like, Tatsu's gonna be playing Cage too, and you get to screw with him or help him as much as you would like. Like, you can change out Keyblades, you can change party members, you can make party members aggro, you can give or take drive forms, magic. There's a lot of stuff, and it's been updated since, oh, hold on, first song only. There we go. It's had some pretty big updates to it since the last time I streamed it. I need to stream it again at some point, because it has been a while. But, yeah, it's gonna be neat. Please make sure you're there. If you're not, then the VOD will be fun as well. Unfortunately, we only do the first song in Dwarf Woodlands because we have to do all of Castle of Dreams, which includes Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. Emphasis on the boo. God damn it.
Take that!
Seeing Aqua glide is so weird, but also cool. Yeah. No, it's jarring considering she never actually gets to glide in the game proper. No, Birth by Sleep, don't do this to me. We were safe. We had what, an hour without any chests? And now it starts. Okay, so we only got a couple stars there. That might be risky for later. We might have to do an extra song to make up for that. And that is the opposite of what we wanted. But that's fine, because now we get to do Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, which is the same MIDI looped about 3 times. 3 times longer than it should be. Let's see. Loop 2. Well, what else are they gonna call it, Sun Arcana? It's the castle where Cinderella's dreams came true. So Castle of Dreams is fitting, if nothing else. Alright, yeah, and that was the 3rd loop. Okay. There we go. No! Okay, this is where the people who voted that I would get more than 20 chests, or no, 20 or more chests, start clapping, because it's happening. It's happening now. This is the danger zone that we're in. Alright. Now we have to break all barrels and boxes. This is crucial. If we don't do this, we're probably going to have to do an extra song. I think we can spare 1 star, but nothing more. No, this theme is great. I'm sad that most of my favorite songs aren't actually viable for the speedrun. Like, the Deep Space Battle theme, Macau Cow, which I'm probably butchering in pronunciation. So good. Come on! Stop! No! No! No. Please. I've already gotten a time loss. I need to perform for the people, for March Caprice. I need this to not happen. Please, dear God. Okay. Radiant Garden. We're doing both songs in BBS Radiant Garden. So I hope you like Radiant Garden, kids. Just going right in. Radiant Garden fun, yeah. Yeah, Radiant Garden can be tough, but I enjoy it a lot. Sun Arcana, I think you need to decree that a little louder. Yeah, no, the bomb unversed with like the valves on the back suck. They're the worst version of large bodies and fat bandits. Like absolutely the worst version. Alright, once we do Black Garden, we go straight to Maleficent, and then optimistically we have one more song in BBS. If we've done our stars right. Thank you, Sun Arcana. I think the game heard you this time. I mean, the place where Zigbar fights Terra in BBS is like the underground part of a water treatment plant. So that wouldn't surprise me. Like where they fight the Trinity armor is right outside more of the water area. Fuck. I did not get all 3 stars on this. I'm gonna have to do an extra song to make up for it, and it's gonna suck. Because that's always what's taken time for me and made these speedruns far closer than they should be. Hey Tyler, the run was doing okay, and then I've made some missteps, but hopefully we can bring it back. Yeah.
It turns out.
Alright, we're gonna have to do an extra song. I think. If Rage Awakened the Origin doesn't unlock KH3 immediately, we're gonna have to do extra stuff. But for now, we just fight Maleficent. Which is nice. Worst case, we'll do Dismiss. Oh, getting all Rainbow Excellence on a boss fight segment is so satisfying. I like how she can't say hell because that's a no-no word. Yeah. No, it's really funny. Despite the fact that I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Axel says hell in Cage Chain of Memories on GBA. Yeet. Get out of here. Goodbye. Someone says hell in 3D. Huh. Neat. I'm trying to wonder who. Because I don't think it's Sora or Riku. Oh, maybe it's the Tron World, yeah. Alright, let's go. I want Sora to say fuck. Yeah. Sora and Roxas both deserve to be able to say the fuck word once. Frollo might say it, actually. I'd have to go back and check. Yeah, I think for sure we're going to have to do another song. Come on! I didn't even do well on that song. It's gonna have to be Dismiss. We're gonna do Dismiss, and then we're gonna move right along. No, okay, we got all the stars on that one. Thank God. Maybe if the game has some grace. No. Okay. We'll just do Black Powder then, and then we have to do Dismiss, it looks like. So let's go. No, this isn't the Lingering Will versus Terranort fight music. I think it's Aqua versus Braig, actually. Or it's Terra versus, it's Terra versus Vanitas and Master Xehanort. That's what it is. Because I'm pretty sure they use a Rage Awakened for Lingering Will versus Terranort. It's both? Oh. Yeah, Fate of the Unknown being in BBS proper would have been nice. Because it is really good. And I'm glad it's in Melody of Memory, but, you know, it getting any recognition elsewhere would have also been really good to see. Alright. Damn it. Okay.
Master Xehanort.
Yeah, something tells me we're gonna have to do Dismiss as well. Which is even more time lost. Oh no, Cage 3 is just open now. No Dismiss. Nice. Okay. Chat, I'm sorry, but this is where I have to start muting for DMCA. The only songs we're muting are Toy Story and Monsters, Inc., so don't worry. So you're not going to get to hear this song, unfortunately, but it's okay. Oh, jeez. If you know I just realized I forgot to swap to Team 3D for the KH3 segments like I said I would. That's my bad. And that's fine. We'll get Riku staring at Repliku and just going, who is this clown? Alright, and as soon as it fades out, we come back with audio. There we go. Alright. Oh, Sun Arcana. People who complain about why Vanitas came back clearly didn't pay attention in BBS or in this game. Because A, they explain it. B, it makes perfect sense. C, it's the best way they could have done it. It's actually the best integration. It's one of the best examples of using Disney plots to advance KH lore I think I've ever seen. Because literally, man's fueled by negative emotions uses the screams to come back. Unfortunately, the Ultimania then goes. He's actually a time-traveling Vanitas possessing a replica. Bastards. Yeah. Until the end, Ultimania clarified it, I genuinely thought Dark Riku was the organization making a second Repliku. That would have been neat. That would have been really, really neat, actually. Having a Repliku who was freshly made, right out the assembly line, up against a Repliku who had been through the torment of the organization and losing his own identity and trying to find himself, would have been really neat. Imagine that. Imagine that. Honestly wish Dark Riku was actually Data Riku. Yeah, Rikupedia would have been neat to see. And yes, I call Data Riku Rikupedia. I was potentially going to swap back to Team BBS, but fuck it. I usually end up here with Team Days anyway, so nostalgia. There's something about the end of KH3 that makes me genuinely sad, but I don't want to say because spoilers. I think if we're watching a speedrun of a game that canonically comes after KH3, I think you're good to talk spoilers for 3.
Take this. Fight.
Oh, I absolutely cried here. In the main game, I still cry when I play through it. What is even hilarious is that the Wikipedia. I'll read that after this, because during the Kairi segments, we literally don't have to do anything. Oh no, and when I was speculating, I thought that was absolutely Wikipedia because I thought the bug blocks were what would be labeled as the dark cubes. I thought that it was like corrupted bug blocks brought into the real world through some means. Wikipedia might have been initially chosen to be a Big Hero 6 world. The glitches from Recoded is what you fight against. They must have changed it later. Yeah, potentially.
Dark.
Alright. Time for the final zone. We get to take like a 5-minute break, stretch, just get some water, and then final boss time. I don't think I'm beating my current record, but we'll see. I want to enter, yes. Give me cutscene skips and then give me Kairi time. Because Kairi time is break time! Yeah, let's go! I'm putting my controller down and I'm stretching out a little bit. Thank you to everybody who stayed, by the way. All 43 of you. I do appreciate it. Oh, alright. Get some water. Oh, good stuff. Okay. So how is everybody right now? How are we feeling coming up on hour 3? Coming up on the last little segment. Doing good, pretty good. Playing Monster Hunter Rise. Ooh, hope you enjoy. How many chests are we at? I don't think we're at 20, but I'm going to go and check I'm gonna check the stats in the game after we're done with the actual speedrun. Beat Barely Default 2 earlier? Nice. We were keeping track initially, and when we kept track, we got up to, like, I think it was 6, and then we just sort of stopped because we hit a lull where there weren't any chests for, like, an hour, and then they came back, so. Hey, at least you have 20 seconds less of stuff to go through post-game. True. True. Because in order to check the stats, I would have to go and do a song in free play. Or now I'm grinding out stuff for P5S Plat. Hey, good luck with that. Plat hunting, it can be rough, but hope you're having fun with it. Okay. Alright, that's the end of the first Kairi song. That's fine. Dragalia made their man dragon hot and fun to play, strong and welfare, so I'm trapped in Gacha Hell again. Sorry to hear that, Hawk. Gacha Hell sucks. Second Kairi segment with one of my favorite songs in the entire series. Kairi 3 hits different every time. Every single time. And thankfully I don't have to play any single portion of this. To be fair, I've done 100 to 200 hour plats already. It's not really that hard. Well, some would argue that the time investment is the difficulty. Because not everyone's willing to invest 100 to 200 hours in a single game. Like, I wanted to plat Yakuza 7 really badly, but God, the final couple trophies are so tedious. And I really enjoyed that game. I just don't enjoy it enough to put that much grinding into a game where grinding becomes like a snooze fest. Frankly. It just sucks. What mode for final boss? I'm doing proud. My hands have had a break. They're gonna have a little bit more of a break, and then I'm doing proud as usual. Proud scares me. That's fair. Proud, it doesn't scare me on the boss version, it scares me on the field battle version. Because the field battle version is so much harder. Alright. Kairi's gotten the pieces of herself, and now we fight. We battle. Alright, let's go. Gamers, we're there. I can't see my PB right now, so I don't actually know when, I don't know if we're on track yet, or still on track. Hey, power player, there's no shame in that. Even in Kairi's own game, she can't beat Xehanort. Yeah. Yeah. It's so unfortunate. Also, when we get more mods, and when we get Mom on PC, I want this model exported and put into KH2 for randos. I want that. I want that mod real bad. When's PCKH release? I think it's in 3 days, actually. Yeah, March 30th. So it's soon. It's very close. That's fine. I can afford to miss some notes so long as I have a degree of consistency. Alright, and time ends. Okay. I don't... That's world record. By a minute. Basically. And we get to watch him die, and that's good. That's all well and good. Alright. Let's get to March Caprice proper so we can actually listen to the song the event is based off of. Alright. Let me double check. Yeah. That's world record, baby. That's both. That's PB and world record. Let's go, gamers! Oh my god. March Caprice is a good victory lap for that sort of thing. Hell yeah. March Caprice doesn't get muted, thankfully, so we get to listen to a song that always puts me in tears, basically. Despite the setback. Yeah, imagine what would have happened if I had actually not had those setbacks. I'm gonna have to run this more often. But yeah, thank you to everybody who stayed. There's still like 40 plus people in chat, which is nuts to me. Thank you to everybody who followed, who hosted. Thank you to the organizers of March Caprice, who are still running the damn thing. And yeah. I'm still going to go and check the stats to make sure that we got less than 20 chests, but I'm pretty sure we got less than 20 chests. Let me see who's actually streaming right now. Let's see. Yeah, Whale is absolutely still going. So we're gonna raid into Whale once we finish up here. So chat. Oh? Alright. Thank you, New, for redeeming points for, Thank you for redeeming for the charity noises. Had to wait till the timer was done. Understandable. You know what? It's our victory lap. Let's play it. Oh. Hey Mulan, I'm sorry we didn't see you at all in the speed run. You're just not faster. You're not optimal. Sorry. Hey Simba, sorry, you're not optimal either, buddy. I thought during Kyrie, but I was like, let's wait. You could have done it during Kyrie. Stitch, I miss you. Wish we could have seen you, buddy. Sorry. Not for China. Yeah, this was very much not a for China thing. Sadly. The squad about to come through. There's the squad. There they are. Them. My kids. It's always cry time. Yeah. Oh, I also forgot. Since it's past 8 o'clock, I scheduled a tweet to go out. I believe that my rando teaching VOD should be up on YouTube right now. So if you missed that on Tuesday, if you want to catch it, it's up there for you to enjoy. If you weren't able to watch it on Twitch, because I know Twitch gets buggy for some people. So is Mom Sora, data memory Sora, or just memory Sora? It's sort of the way Kai remembers him. It's just a memory amalgamation of Sora. It's not Data Sora or anything. If it was Data Sora, we would have known. There would have been a cutscene explaining that. Kai remembers Sora as a baby. Yeah, because Sora was a baby when Kairi was in his heart. That's why he's like that and not the KH2 Sora that I wanted so desperately. I just wanted a skin of KH2 Sora, man. Feels bad. I just want him back. My favorite outfit. Oh. The real crackheaded thing with KH is, yeah, Limit Cut Sora is a second different Data Sora, which is messed up beyond belief. Honestly, I want KH Kyrie in purple and pink outfits. Yeah, having Kyrie in purple or pink again would have been nice. Well, in purple and white and yellow and all that. Giving her an upgraded version of her KH1 colors. Anytime artists do that, I look at that and go, "Thank you for this delicious food. Thank you so much. You are giving me things I will never receive." Thank you, Bamboo named Sora, for the follow. Appreciate it. But yeah, I do the final boss on Proud because we get the good orchestra colored art. Look at this art. I love it so much. Alright. In-game time, 3:01. Real time, 2:55:40. Just gonna print screen. So I have that for later when I submit that to speedrun.com. Hey, song's unlocked. We got the fun number. Alright. Let's go. We have to go check how many chests we got. And to check how many chests we got, we have to go and we have to do one song in free play. They make you do it. It's kind of dumb, but, you know. We're gonna do one song in free play. It's going to be... let's see. Sort by series. We're gonna do a KH2 song. Let's do Darkness of the Unknown. It's short. It's one of my favorites. And we get to see the actual battle version of it. I'm grinding floors and recoded help. I'm sorry, I can't help you. You have to help yourself. I still can't believe Mom has actual Disney songs. Yeah, it's nuts. I never would have expected that in a million years, and then they did it. Which has to make running all songs an absolute goddamn nightmare. Way too short. I wish the song was longer. I wish the song was as long as some of the 3D songs were. All songs is just mute everything Disney. Yeah, basically. Alright, we got the museum unlocked. Let's return to main menu. And then we go down here. Aww. We're gonna take a second to appreciate Riku and the Dream Eaters. Alright, he bounced. We're good. Alright, chat, place your bets. How many chests exactly did we get? How many chests specifically? Say a specific number. Delicious. Alright. I'll give you all a few more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Time is up. The correct answer is 15. Did someone say 15? Nagarf, sir. Or I'm sorry. I don't know your pronouns, so Nagarf. Hello. You've won something. What do you want, bud? Because A, our chest RNG was good, which means I get to pay out the prediction and say yes, less than 20 chests. Congratulations to everybody who had faith and wanted the game to be kind. But also, ask for eternal life. I can't do that, Tyler. Listen, that secret is closely guarded. I cannot share it with anyone legally. You know what, Nagarf? Here's what you won. Type in chat, buddy. I'm going to make that a thing from now on. If anybody guesses the number of chests right, they get VIP. Ooh woo. Yeah, there you go. Alright, congratulations. Thank you to everybody who came out. Seriously, I did not expect to hit 50 and stay at 50 for basically the entire thing. I appreciate it. We're gonna go ahead and raid Whale. Now, when you're there, be nice. Don't brag about anything. Just be like, yo, how's the run going? Maybe drop some Shibuya dabs for support. And, you know, I'm gonna be doing the rando race with Tatsu on Tuesday. I'm going to be doing Water Cage's rewrite mod tomorrow at noon Eastern with Tatsu over on Tatsu's channel. So look out for that. I'm gonna be doing more Ghost Trick on Thursday, hopefully finishing it. And then maybe next weekend I'll do another stream. Who knows? If people ask for it, you might receive. If you want to get notified on when I go live, either scroll down below or do ! Discord, because I do ping people on Discord when I'm going live. So, if you want to be a part of that, just, you know, join up, read the rules, and you're all set. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and raid now. I will see you guys later. Have a good night.
Hey!
That's how it's done.
Shibuya! Thank you for the raid! How did the run go? I actually, no, I'll wait and... Thank you so much for the raid! Hello, hello! Thank you for the break a leg. Power player, thank you for the follow. Shibuya, thank you for the follow. Also realized you weren't waffle. No worries, no worries. Let me just menu. The run went very well. Listening to just let's freaking go. Love that RNG. Both songs, okay. Not following well, cringe. No, it's all good. You moved your host to Wales. Thank you, New. New Nugs. Yes, welcome everyone. I did have to restart a song about halfway through, so that was not poggers, but we should definitely still world record. Shibuya was running the 80% free difficulty. Whereas I'm doing the proud. Quite the audience today. No, indeed. Happy birthday, Kingdom Hearts. KD. Yeah, itching to run proud percent one of these days, but you get worried the lack of breaks for your fingers. Oh, fair enough. When Pink Blue did her play, I think she was hurting in like 8 hours, and I was just like, oh man, I can't imagine. Chess add 2 to 3 seconds? That's a lot. That's an RNG killer if I've heard one. Happy birthday tomorrow for you? Oh, Kingdom Hearts. Oh, tomorrow? No, Melody of Memory, grew my, I don't know, dexterity? My tolerance? I think especially playing the Today's Tunes and Performer, I think it helped with my dexterity and my accuracy. I still need to, I haven't attempted boss battle performers though. I mean, I've attempted, but I'll get like halfway and be like, no. But yeah, definitely Wave of Darkness and Dark Domination helped my dexterity.